that's um, what is your opinion, Sensei, on if you're in a country that persecutes Buddhism? Is it slandering the Dharma? Like if you have to hide your Amida Buddha statues and kind of hide that you're a Shin Buddhist, is that slandering the Dharma? Should like if you're in a country that's persecuting you, how should you approach that if that would
It's
ever
like in
happen?
war. Sometimes in a war, you confront the enemy face to face. Sometimes you fight in a guerrilla warfare. Sometimes you need to hide to gather your strength. Sometimes you need to retreat to preserve your strength and preserve the life of your um, colleagues so that you can continue your mission. So you do, if you are in such a situation, uh, you are not asked to become a martyr. If you can become a martyr, then become a martyr and die for the faith. If you can't do that, hide. To hide does not mean to slander the Dharma. To slander the Dharma means to say openly and being convinced of the fact that there is no Buddha, that to be convinced to insult the Buddha, you see, and to do it because you want it. That means insulting or slandering. But if you hide, you are not slandering the Dharma. Sometimes it's good to hide in order to preserve your life and preserve the teaching, hide the teaching for better times when you might be able again to teach openly. So be smart, be wise, and choose your fights. If there is the need to fight, to openly become a martyr, to say, to not hide, then don't hide. But sometimes it's good to hide. It depends. You see, it depends. It depends on the situation. Do whatever is needed in order to preserve the Dharma and so that the mission of spreading the Dharma can be made. Yes.
Yeah, because
Don't let the Dharma die. Yes, please.
yeah, sorry, Sensei. Shinran and Honen faced persecution, and many early Shin Buddhists faced persecution, and maybe in the future we face persecution again. Yeah, so that's kind of where my question was coming from.
Yes. Um, yes, fortunately, Shinran was not asked to renounce Buddhism. You see, the persecutors of Shinran and Honen were also Buddhists. They just didn't like Nembutsu. It's not like living in an Islamic country, for example, and ask to renounce your faith. You see, if that happens, you have two choices. You refuse to do it and you die as a Buddhist martyr, or you lie to them and you escape with your life and you continue to practice the Dharma in hiding. You see, I can't tell you to die. I can't do that. What I tell you is that you can do anything possible to follow the Dharma, to not abandon the Dharma, and to preserve the Dharma. So sometimes you can preserve the Dharma by dying as a martyr, because others will be impressed by this. Sometimes it's better to not die as a martyr, but to hide in order to preserve the Dharma. So you choose at that moment. Sometimes you have to fight with arms in your hand. Yes, sometimes you take your gun and you fight. It doesn't there are no holy wars. Let's be clear about this. Even the war that was fought between members of Jodo Shinshu in the Sengoku Jidai period between Ishiyama Honganji at that time and Oda Nobunaga, that was not a holy war. We were we had reasons to fight at that time. Okay, because Oda Nobunaga, attacked our main temple. Okay, so we fought. That's okay. In the end, Jodo Shinshu school survived. Perhaps because we fought. I don't know. I don't know. Perhaps it had survived even without fighting. I don't know. But even if you win in such a fight and in such a war, that's still a tragedy. So there is no reason to be happy if you succeed in a war or if you kill your enemy who wanted to destroy Buddhism. That's not a reason to be happy because you are still killing your mother and father from previous lives. But sometimes you have to do that. You do it, but doesn't mean that's a thing to be happy about or proud about. You see? Samsara is a place where there is no perfect good. There is no perfect solution. It can't be. Yeah. So anyway, let's try our best to preserve the Dharma and transmit the Dharma. That's important. Our lives are important if we can do that. Yes. But I can't ask you guys to be martyrs. And it's okay if you are not a martyr. In the primal vow, Amida Buddha didn't say, entrust to me and be a martyr or die for the faith. No, he said, entrust to me, say my name and wish to be born in my land. It doesn't matter if you say it openly or you say it in your mind. Yes. You don't need to be a hero in order to go to the Pure Land. That's very important to understand. So it's your choice. Yeah. Mhm. Are you okay with the answer, Daitoku? I don't know what to say
Yes,
more.
Sensei, thank you very much.
You are welcome. Namu Amida Bu. If you guys want to add something, please do.
I've made the comment. I'm just here. I'm here. I'm here till I go to the Pure Land. I I've talked to my friend about it recently. It's like the way I view life and the way my parents view life is totally different. My parents were Southern Baptist Christians, and they believed in the concept that once you accepted Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, you were saved, and you never had to fear hell again. Yet they were terrified of death. They worried about death. And that never made sense to me. And I was worried about death, even though I was a Southern Baptist living in their home and I had accepted Jesus Christ as my personal Lord and Savior and was baptized. Honestly, death means nothing to me now. I don't want to die. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to die, especially if I suffer. But the idea of living here in this Saha realm means nothing to me. My true life lies in my next life after I die in this one. It's going to be in the Pure Land. So becoming a martyr, it'd just be another excuse to leave this realm. But I don't know. I look at our society today with people trying so desperately to stay young, and they'll turn themselves into freaks and monsters with Botox and liposuction and everything else, trying to grasp that youth. And I do not miss my youth. I love being an old man. I love, even though our society here in America frowns on you being old, you're seen as old and useless and not attractive. I, because of my connection with Amida Buddha, I no longer fear death. Now, that's not to say tomorrow when I mean, next time I walk to work from the bus stop, and I see an 18-wheeler coming at me, I won't scream out, "Oh shit." But the idea of wanting to live in this realm indefinitely, I can't relate to that. My true life is the Pure Land.
Yes. You know, as a person of faith, you are certain about the destination after you die. So, as a person of faith, you no longer fear the destination after death. You no longer fear what comes after death. But because of your attachment to your body, we have to remember that we are still samsaric, unenlightened beings, ignorant beings, attached beings until we actually die and go to the Pure Land. So, as an attached person, as an unenlightened person, as a samsaric being, it's normal that you identify yourself with your body, which is why you suffer pain, which is why you don't like pain in the body, because you identify yourself with your body. So Shinran Shonin was not against being afraid of death in the sense of being afraid of the pain of death. You see, nobody wants to die and go to no people don't want to die. Why? Because they are attached to their bodies. And it's absolutely okay for a person of faith to be attached to their bodies. This doesn't mean that a person of faith cannot reach a point where he doesn't care about the body. No problem. Each one of us have his different understanding. But what I want to mention is that from a doctrinal point of view, a person of is it's absolutely okay for a person of faith to be attached to his body and don't want to die soon or don't want to feel pain. See? Because faith coexists with blind passions. Faith coexists with attachment. And Amida Buddha didn't ask from us to be detached in order to go to the Pure Land. But a person of faith is certain of his birth in the Pure Land after death. A person of faith doesn't need to worry about what comes after death because he knows that after death he goes to the Pure Land. It's important. See, it's like having a surgery. You trust the doctor, you know that after the surgery you will be well, but you still fear the pain of the surgery. It's an unconscious fear. It's the same with the fear of death, with attachment to your body and fear of pain. It's an unconscious fear that comes from eons of living as a samsaric being, in which you constantly identified with your various bodies. See, it's very important to understand that. Yeah. Okay.
You were able to say that a lot better than I could.
we sing the same. That's basic Jodo Shinshu. I know you guys know that. But I need to tell it again and again, especially if we put this on YouTube.